Today we're diving into a matchup that sounds completely one-sided on paper, but trust me, it's way more interesting than you think. We're talking about the ultimate hunter from the stars, the galaxy's most feared trophy collector, the Predator, going up against DC's most morally questionable hero, the douchey superhero himself, Peacemaker. Now I know what you're thinking. This is a stomp. The Predator hunts xenomorphs for sport. And yeah, on the surface, it seems like Chris Smith is about to become another skull on the trophy wall. But here's the thing. Peacemaker has tangled with metahumans, survived impossible odds, and has access to some seriously underrated tech and tactics. Plus, the Predator has a very specific honor code that could be exploited. So buckle up, because we're about to break down why this fight is closer than you think. Let's start with the obvious threat here. The Yautja, commonly known as predators, are an extraterrestrial warrior race that has been hunting dangerous prey across the galaxy for thousands of years. These guys don't just hunt for food, they hunt for honor, for sport, for the thrill of the challenge. Their entire culture revolves around the hunt, and earning your place in Yautja society means taking down the most dangerous game in the universe. The Predators come from a planet with intense gravity and a warrior culture that makes Spartan society look like a daycare. They've been visiting Earth since ancient times, we're talking Pyramids era, and have influenced human cultures across the globe. They see Earth as a hunting preserve, and humans as potential prey, or, if we prove ourselves worthy, potential equals. A typical predator stands around 7 to 8 feet tall, weighs 400 to 500 pounds of pure muscle, and possesses physical capabilities that dwarf peak human performance. Their biology is insane. They can see in multiple spectrums, they have highly developed senses, they can leap incredible distances, and their healing factor is legitimately impressive. We've seen predators cauterize their own wounds in seconds and keep fighting with injuries that would kill a human instantly. Now let's talk about what makes the Predator truly terrifying: their tech. The plasma caster is their signature weapon, a shoulder-mounted energy weapon that can blast through concrete, steel, and flesh with equal ease. It's target locked to their biomask, which provides thermal vision, multiple vision modes, and a targeting computer that rarely misses. Then there's the cloaking device, which bends light around the Predator to make them nearly invisible. It's not perfect. You can see the distortion if you know what to look for. But in a combat scenario, it's a massive advantage. The wrist blades are razor-sharp, retractable weapons that can tear through body armor. The Smart Disc is a throwable weapon with molecular edges that can slice through basically anything and return to the user. The Combi Stick is an extendable spear that's been shown to impale multiple people at once. And don't even get me started on the net gun, which fires a weighted net that constricts and slices into its target. Oh, and if all else fails, they have a self-destruct device with a nuclear-level blast radius. The Predator would rather die than be captured or dishonored. The Predator's physical feats are borderline superhuman. We've seen them lift and throw grown men like ragdolls, punch through concrete walls, survive multi-story falls, and keep fighting after taking gunfire and explosions. In the first film, the Jungle Hunter massacred an entire squad of elite Special Forces soldiers, guys who were the best of the best. In Predator 2, the City Hunter navigated urban warfare and took down armed gangs and police officers with ease. Their intelligence cannot be overstated. Predators are tactical geniuses who study their prey, set traps, exploit weaknesses, and adapt mid-battle. They're not mindless monsters. They're calculated hunters with centuries of experience and advanced strategic thinking. They learn from their mistakes and from observing their prey's tactics. But, and this is crucial, the Predator has exploitable weaknesses. Their honor code is the big one. Predators won't use their plasma casters or advanced weapons against unarmed prey. They seek fair combat, which means they'll intentionally handicap themselves against opponents they deem unworthy. This has gotten them killed before. They're also overconfident. The Predator expects to win, and that hubris has led to their downfall multiple times. Dutch beat the Jungle Hunter by outsmarting it with primitive traps and using the environment. Harrigan beat the City Hunter in close quarters after exploiting its wounded state. The Predator can be outthought, and they can be overwhelmed if you disrupt their tech. Water and electricity interfere with their cloaking device, and extreme heat or cold can mess with their thermal vision. Now let's talk about Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker, the man who loves peace so much, he's willing to kill anyone who gets in the way of it. On the surface, Chris seems like a joke, a try-hard Captain America knockoff with daddy issues and a collection of ridiculous helmets. But don't let the comedy fool you. This dude is legitimately dangerous. Peacemaker is the son of Augie Smith, a white supremacist supervillain who put Chris through brutal training from childhood. We're talking weapons training, combat conditioning, psychological abuse, the whole 9 yards. Chris was forged into a weapon by a monster, and while he's trying to be better, that training stuck. He's a killer who's been doing this since he was a kid, and he's very, very good at it. In the DCEU continuity, Peacemaker was recruited into Task Force X, the Suicide Squad, and survived missions that killed most of his team. He then led his own team against the Butterflies, an alien invasion force, and came out on top. This is a guy who's fought aliens, metahumans, and supervillains, and lived to tell the tale. Let's be clear, Peacemaker is peak human, possibly slightly superhuman, depending on the version. His strength, speed, and durability are all Olympic level or better. He's strong enough to throw grown men through walls, fast enough to dodge gunfire, and tough enough to take beatings that would hospitalize normal people. His pain tolerance is off the charts. We've seen him fight through stab wounds, gunshots, and broken bones without slowing down. His combat skills are elite tier. He's a master marksman who can thread impossible shots, an expert in hand-to-hand combat with training in multiple martial arts, and he's proficient with virtually every weapon imaginable. Guns, knives, swords, bows, explosives. If it can kill, Chris knows how to use it. His tactical awareness is sharp, and while he's not Batman level, he can think on his feet and adapt to changing situations. Peacemaker's gear is where things get spicy. His signature chrome helmet isn't just for show. In the show, he has multiple helmets with different functions. We're talking sonic blast helmets, helmets that create force fields, helmets with X-ray vision, and more. These aren't jokes. The sonic helmet has knocked out entire rooms of people, and the force field helmet has blocked bullets and explosions. He wears a modified, bulletproof suit that can take serious punishment. He carries custom firearms, often highly modified pistols and rifles, and he's not afraid to use lethal force. He's got access to explosives, traps, and whatever gear he can requisition from Argus or build himself with his team's help. Here's where Peacemaker gets interesting. Chris is unpredictable. He's funny, he's cocky, and he talks a lot of trash. But he's also deeply traumatized, prone to self-doubt, and capable of extreme violence when pushed. He'll crack jokes mid-fight, but he'll also go for the throat if that's what it takes to win. His tactics are aggressive and improvisational. He's not a careful planner like Batman. He's more likely to kick down the door and start blasting. But he's smart enough to use his environment, set ambushes, and exploit weaknesses when he finds them. And critically, Chris is willing to cheat, to fight dirty, to do whatever it takes. He doesn't have an honor code limiting him. Peacemaker's weaknesses are significant. He's arrogant and often underestimates his opponents. His emotional state is unstable. PTSD and daddy issues can throw him off his game. He's mortal. No healing factor, no superhuman durability beyond his training and gear. A lucky shot can kill him. And while he's tough, he's not invincible. Prolonged fights wear him down, and he can be overwhelmed by superior numbers or firepower. Okay, so how does this actually go down? Let's set the scene. The Predator has marked Peacemaker as worthy prey. Maybe Chris stumbled onto a hunt, maybe he's been targeted for his reputation. Either way, the hunt is on. The Predator starts with its standard playbook. Observe, stalk, strike from stealth. It'll cloak, track Chris from a distance, and try for a quick plasma caster kill. Here's the problem. Peacemaker is paranoid and surprisingly perceptive. He's fought aliens before. He knows when something's wrong, and he's constantly scanning his environment. If he catches that telltale shimmer or hears the Predators clicking, he's going loud immediately. Chris doesn't play defensive. He goes on the offensive. He'll spray the area with gunfire, use explosives to flush out hidden enemies, and create chaos. This disrupts the Predator's preferred hunting style. Suddenly, the Predator can't get a clean shot because Chris is moving erratically, using cover and firing back at anything that moves. Let's talk equipment matchup. The Predator's cloaking device is countered by Peacemaker's sonic helmet or any tech that can detect energy signatures. If Chris has prep time or his team's support, he could have thermal goggles or motion trackers, gear that negates the cloak's advantage. The plasma caster is devastating, but it's not instant. There's a targeting delay, and Chris is fast enough and unpredictable enough that he might dodge the first few shots. Once he knows about the plasma caster, he'll prioritize taking it out. He's a good enough shot to potentially hit the shoulder mount or the mask targeting system. Peacemaker's sonic helmet is a game changer. That sonic blast has knocked out entire rooms of people and could potentially disorient or even damage the Predator's sensitive audio receptors. The force field helmet could block the plasma caster or wrist blades long enough for Chris to reposition or counterattack. If this goes hand to hand, it gets really interesting. The Predator has the physical advantage. Stronger, tougher, better reach. Those wrist blades can slice through Chris's armor, and one good hit could be fatal. But Peacemaker is no slouch in melee. He's fought metahumans and won. He's scrappy, aggressive, and willing to go for the eyes, the throat, the joints, anywhere that might hurt. Chris's advantage here is unpredictability and dirty fighting. He'll use his environment, throw sand in the Predator's eyes, use debris as weapons, go for the biomask to blind it. He's fought bigger, stronger opponents before and survived by being cleverer and meaner. Here's where it gets spicy. The Predator's honor code could be its downfall. If it deems Peacemaker worthy, it might put away the plasma caster and fight fairly. This is a huge mistake against someone like Chris, who has zero compunction about fighting dirty. He'll fake surrender, use hidden weapons, exploit any opening. If Chris manages to wound the Predator seriously, damage its tech, hurt it badly, the Predator might escalate or might self-destruct. Either way, Chris needs to end the fight quickly before it reaches that point. Alright, moment of truth. In a random encounter with no prep, the Predator has the advantage. Superior tech, physical capabilities, and experience hunting dangerous prey give it the edge. Peacemaker would put up a hell of a fight, but more often than not, he's taking a plasma bolt to the chest or getting skewered by wrist blades. Predator wins 7-10 in a random encounter. But, and this is a big but, if Peacemaker has even minimal prep time, or if he has his team's support, or if the fight takes place in an environment he can control, the odds shift dramatically. Chris, with his full arsenal, knowledge that something's hunting him, and the right helmets, he could absolutely take this. He's smart enough to exploit the Predator's weaknesses, aggressive enough to force the fight on his terms, and equipped enough to match the Predator's tech advantage. With prep, Peacemaker wins 6-10. The X factor is Chris's willingness to do absolutely anything to win versus the Predator's honor code. In a prolonged engagement where both sides adapt and learn, Peacemaker's lack of restrictions could be the deciding factor. The Predator expects a certain type of prey behavior. Peacemaker doesn't fit that mold. This matchup is way closer than it appears because Peacemaker is the worst kind of prey for a Predator. Skilled enough to be dangerous, unpredictable enough to be frustrating, and ruthless enough to exploit every weakness. The Predator is designed to hunt, but Chris Smith is designed to kill, and there's a difference. So what do you think? Am I crazy for giving Peacemaker a chance here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your hot takes.